All right, I'm going to take a look at Eli MacNeal's workout on air. He's a dual threat quarterback from Carlsbad, California, class of 2026. I've been on the field with Eli in training settings and workout settings with t-shirts and shorts on, and I've also been on the sideline when Eli's played as a quarterback. Very calm athlete, very in control of his emotions, has a smooth delivery, is deceptively fast, can make a lot of plays. He's got toughness. He's willing to sit in there and take a shot. A lot of respect for Eli and his family. So I'm going to go ahead and do this breakdown here. All right, so, one of the things I do like about Carlsbad is they get under center. Coach Mack is big on making sure that the quarterbacks are able to understand timing from under center. It allows them to understand timing from the gun, right? When you take a snap from the gun, you got to be able to time up the snap to the catch. And then you got to be able to, understand where you're at in the pocket. From under center, you got to be able to drive and get the distance away from the line of scrimmage. I think there's a lot of value in still training in it. Even if you don't do much under center, quick game, there's still value in it. I like how he's able to hang on the back foot, anticipating that we've got to get that read on the alley player or the curl flat player or the hook curl player if it's a too high structure, and then get it right in that window in between the linebacker and safety. Good ball placement. Like I said, throws a catchable ball, throws under control. He's got good body control as well. Center gets his good depth. You can see he's lining up to an out-breaking route. Love it. Love the alignment. Back end step is lined up, smooth throw at eye level, catchable ball. Okay. Those types of throws there, that allows a receiver to split coverage. That allows the receiver to run away from any man technique and be able to split zone type coverage as well. So love that ball placement. Love the firmness in his lower half. Good. Head remains still. Not much wasted movement there. Nice and fluid. Gets his depth. Really sinks on that back leg. Hits another slant. Another out-breaking route or a sideline type throw, route outside the numbers or at the numbers. Good hitch route. Throwing to his left, operating in the pocket, coming back, front side. He's got front side of the concept, and then he's working back to a backside in cut or a basic cross. Good fluidity in his movement there. Like the depth that he's able to gain on that drop. He's at his back foot's at 7 yards. It's really good distance. Gets into a good base and maintains a good base as he's climbing up in the pocket. Not much wasted movement. He has a rhythm to him as far as going through his progression and understanding the timing of where he's looking and the timing of his feet. Obviously, when you move and you operate in the pocket, you got to speed it up at the throw point. He gets a good balance. Off arm, comes back tight to the body. Not too much of a lean out there. Head remains still. Thing I will say is there could be just a little bit better timing here with the lower half. You see that back hip is still an extension, and want to start getting it to more of flexion and finishing that rotation, that IR, that internal rotation, the back hip before the arm comes through. So a little bit of a timing issue, but not bad. I mean, throws a dot, throws a dime right at the eye level. As a quarterback, you need to try to understand that you want the ball to be thrown around the eyes of the receiver if you can control it, right? There's instances where you can't throw it there, right? You got to throw it away from a defender or throw it over somebody. You got to have leveling of throws. But, being able to throw it right at their eyes, that's basically makes it as a can't miss catch, right? Excellent. Okay, little rip and tuck move, resetting, getting rebalanced up, and then driving that in cut from that backside. Okay, little slide back. I like it. Like the variation of movement, just showing his ability to remain in a good passing position while moving away from the rush. Good. Slide to his rear, resetting. Those are always the toughest throws, right? You're moving away from a target that's running to the opposite sideline. You got to re-anchor, try to have your shoulders over your hips. He maintains a good balance. He keeps the shoulders over his hips, and he's able to drive that football. That's a big boy throw. And you could see the subtle nuance as he's dropping. He's able to speed up his drop when he needs to. He's able to tempo his drop when he needs to. That's a sign that he's been coached extremely well, that he understands the timing of these routes. The routes need to time up with the quarterback's feet. That's critical. Good. Very surgical from the standpoint that's very consistent coming off of his hand. Another thing that Carlsbad does really well is he'll commit to run the football. And so these play actions really open up. Eli has an understanding of, how to have good mechanics in the run game to set up play action. He understands leveling of throws, for those intermediate type throws to an over route by a tight end or a slot. He's able to attack downhill. Does a good job of getting his shoulder pointed towards where he's throwing. And he's got a very consistent spin on the ball. He throws a very catchable ball. I've caught throws from him, so he throws a very catchable ball. Ball placement on these deep throws, it's where you want it. You want the receiver to hold the landmark and for the quarterback to throw it into the quarterback's grasp towards the sideline. Good, he's sinking, he's waiting. You've got to be able to, if it's cover three, I know, I've, again, been on the field with him. I know he's holding the safety so the safety can't lean out and push to be able to cap that route. So he holds the safety, and then he gets to his crossover plant phase and engages when he needs to throw the ball, whether he needs to speed it up and throw it sooner or whether he could sink a little bit longer, let his guy get to even position with the DB, and then throw that ball to the receiver's blind spot. A lot of good there. Good stuff. This quarterback has the ability to treat the passing game like the run game from the standpoint that it's like a handoff, right? He's able to get it there. It's a high percentage situation in a lot of instances for him because of his understanding of his footwork, understanding in regards to how his routes attack coverage structures and the mechanics within the structures. So a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of variance on the routes and the concepts based off of the scheme of the other side. So he's going to be ready to be able to have different approaches based off of the opponent, and the college game is definitely based on personnel, based on how that team's going to defend the offensive plan. And he's been well versed on how to attack the different coverages that exist and really been schooled up on it. The proof is in the pudding. He's coached by two former very successful quarterbacks that understand how to create a quarterback-friendly offense, deep in cuts, good movement. To see that subtle alignment there at the top of that, right after that movement, you see that great alignment. He's got to be able to get out in front and anticipate where the throw is going to be. And, not everybody possesses that. He's not really cutting himself off. He's allowing himself to get great alignment. So he's not having to labor and work too hard to be efficient. Okay, some run game mechanics. He's got fast hands. He's able to be smooth, get the ball into the running back's stomach, seat the ball there, and then boom, pull the ball out and accelerate the ball out when they have a conflict defender in an RPO game. Good. Great depth and understanding, launch points, understanding where he needs to be in the pocket. and you see those resets. It's not taking too long. It's not covering too much ground forward. Great ball placement on these corner routes. But thanks for watching. Eli MacNeal again, high integrity kid, comes from a great family, comes from a football family. He's been about ball since I've met him, and I'm a big fan of his. He's a great student. He's somebody that, I would want to date my daughter. He's got that type of integrity. I trust him to that standpoint. So really excited about his future, and thanks for watching.